Oh no, before I even go to Galatians 2, now we can go to Romans 6 and understand what Paul said. When Paul says, shall we sin? So shall we continue in sin so grace should abound? Listen to Paul's answer. Please listen to Paul's answer. Paul doesn't say, no, don't. Paul adds and says, how? He asks, how? Read, God forbid, he said. And then he continued, how? He's asking how somebody who has understood grace can continue walking in sin. How? Now, do you get it? It's not about no. It's about how. How? How do you understand grace and continue in sin? How? Because when Paul doesn't understand it, you need to teach us how you do it. He says, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? How does that work? The answer is no, not because we shouldn't, but no, because it should not be. It can't be. That's what he's saying. More than we shouldn't, it can't be. How can you? How do you repudiate the grace of God? How do you abuse it? And then just say, because I'm the righteousness of God, therefore I'm just going to continue sleeping around. How? He says it's not possible. Now, that's understanding grace. That's understanding what? Grace. Let's go back. Now, have I answered Romans 6? It is deep. So, Galatians 2:15. Paul is saying, this last verse, we Jews know that we have no advantage of birth over non-Jewish sinners. We know very well that we are not set right with God by rule keeping, but only through personal faith in Jesus. How do we know? We tried it. Paul says, we tried it. We had the best system of rules the world has ever seen. Convinced that no human being can please God by self-improvement, we believed in Jesus as the Messiah so we might be set right before God by trusting in the Messiah, not trying to be good. Some of you noticed that we are not yet perfect. Some of you have noticed that some of us, among us, there are people in one area. Maybe you are not a liar, but you are this. Maybe you're not this, but you understand. Not all of us are living perfect. He says, no great surprise. And are you ready, like many people do, to make the accusation that since people like me, who go through Christ in order to get things right with God, aren't perfectly virtuous, Christ, therefore, must be an accessory to sin. And that accusation is frivolous. You have not understood what we are teaching. If you think that I'm telling people to sin, you have not yet understood me. I'm just telling people not to go through Moses. I'm telling them to go through Christ. It's the simple message. Because all of these are ways, but they must choose the way that will guarantee victory. It is easier to allow God to take things out of you as you yield to truth than trying to take things out of you without taking the help of God through Christ. That's what we are teaching. So